Have you ever stood in front of the meat section at your local grocery store, staring at the options and thinking, is this really worth what I'm paying? You're not alone. Some grocery chains take meat seriously. Others treat it like filler. Today, we're ranking 20 of the biggest names in grocery stores, from the worst offenders to the ones that actually deliver quality, value, and trust. You won't believe who made it to the top 3. Now, let's get into it. Number 20. Target. Target is awesome for throw pillows and earbuds. But the meat aisle? That's where the magic fades. The case looks tidy and bright, yet the selection is bare minimum. Standard chicken packs, ground beef, and a few shrink-wrapped steaks that all feel copy-pasted from a warehouse. There's usually no butcher counter, which means no custom cuts, no thickness tweaks, and no real guidance beyond the label. Freshness swings a lot. Some days fine, other days you'll spot packages skating close to the sell-by date or trays with that dreaded little leak. Labels have started leaning into natural and occasional organic, but those upgrades are limited and often priced like a premium you don't taste. Transparency isn't Target's strong suit either. It's commodity sourcing with vague details, so if you care about where your steak came from or how it was raised, you'll be guessing. For quick groceries, Target works. For a ribeye that sears beautifully, holds its juices, and actually tastes like something you planned your dinner around, you're better off at a store that treats meat like a destination, not an accessory. Number 19. Dollar General. Dollar General is built for roadside convenience and rock-bottom prices, not a weekend steak project. Most locations don't stock fresh meat at all. What you'll find lives in the freezer. Pre-formed patties, frozen chicken strips, breakfast meats, and deli slices with ingredient lists that read more like lab notes than a butcher's chalkboard. If you're camping, traveling, or stuck with limited options, sure, a frozen patty can save the day. But flavor, texture, and transparency aren't the priorities here. You won't get marbling, you won't get grind details, and you definitely won't get a butcher to answer questions. Think backup plan, not Sunday roast. It's perfectly fine to grab paper towels, canned goods, or snacks at Dollar General. When it comes to protein, though, you'll want to drive a little farther. Spend a few more dollars at a proper grocery store, and you'll taste it immediately. Cleaner packaging, better cuts, and meat that cooks like it should, rather than shrinking into a dry, salty puck. Number 18. Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's crushes it with snacks and frozen gems, but the meat case is where the charm cools off. The department is tiny, and everything is pre-portioned and vacuum-sealed. That's convenient, but it locks you into whatever thickness and cut the store decided. No custom ribeye, no trimming requests, no, can you cut this into 2 chops? Labels sound promising. Grass-fed, free-range, organic. Yet sourcing is vague, and there's no real butcher to talk through what that actually means for flavor or cooking. Taste and texture can be uneven, too. Many shoppers find the price positioning suggests premium, while the eating experience lands closer to average. If you're already in Trader Joe's grabbing frozen dumplings and salad kits, the meat section will cover simple plans just fine. Tacos, stir-fries, weeknight chicken. For a steak night, a long braise, or anything where the cut quality drives the meal, it's not the best pick. Trader Joe's is brilliant at what it's built for. Curated convenience. Serious meat shopping belongs somewhere with a fuller selection and real counter service. Number 17. Walmart. Walmart wins on price and reach, but the meat aisle tells a different story. Selection is broad: beef, pork, chicken, turkey, plenty of grinds. Yet almost all of it is pre-cut, pre-wrapped, and shipped in from big processing facilities. That keeps costs low, but it also means no custom cuts and not much conversation about aging, marbling, or where the cattle were raised. You will see buzzwords like grass-fed or antibiotic-free on a few items, though the bulk is standard commodity meat with minimal traceability. Packaging quality varies. Leaky trays and odd discoloration pop up more than you'd like, so you have to inspect closely. Staff coverage in the department can be thin, and specialized guidance is rare. If your priority is stretching a budget or stocking up where there aren't many alternatives, Walmart does the job. But if you care about consistency, sourcing clarity, or elevating a recipe with a great cut, you'll get far better results from a store that invests in butchers, quality control, and tighter supply chains. Number 16. Lidl. Lidl brings the European discount model: fast shops, sharp prices, simple choices, and that vibe carries into the meat section. The basics are covered: chicken breasts and thighs, pork chops, ground beef, a few steaks, plus some pre-marinated and seasonal items. Price tags are friendly, often undercutting bigger rivals, which makes Lidl handy for weeknight protein. Trade-offs show up in transparency and flexibility. Everything is pre-packed with limited detail about farms or feed, and there's no butcher to adjust thickness or break down a roast. Freshness can feel uneven. Some stores nail rotation, others let items creep toward the date before marking them down. When you hit it on a good day, the value is real. When you don't, it's just average. For shoppers who want quick, budget-conscious meat that cooks up fine in a skillet or air fryer, Lidl works. If you're chasing standout marbling, specialty cuts, or tighter sourcing standards, you'll want a store that treats meat as a centerpiece rather than another aisle. Number 15. Meijer. Meijer is a Midwest favorite, a true one-stop shop for groceries, clothing, and home goods. But when it comes to meat, the results are mixed. On the positive side, the selection looks solid at first glance: plenty of beef, pork, chicken, and sometimes lamb. They stock national brands as well as their own private label lines, including a few options labeled antibiotic-free or USDA choice. Some stores even advertise natural or organic cuts, which sounds good on paper. But here's where the cracks appear. Most of the meat is pre-packaged, so if you're hoping for a custom cut or specific thickness, you're out of luck unless the store happens to have an active butcher. And even then, it's hit or miss whether someone is working the counter. Quality is also inconsistent. One week you might find a nice steak with good marbling. The next week you'll pick up something chewy or oddly discolored. And customer service? That depends heavily on the store. In some locations, the staff is helpful. In others, you're on your own. Meijer isn't bad. It's perfectly fine for everyday meals and convenient if you're already shopping for other items. But if you're picky about your proteins or want a butcher who knows their craft, you'll probably look elsewhere. Number 14. Giant Food. Landover, Carlisle. Giant Food, known as either Giant Landover or Giant Carlisle depending on where you are on the East Coast, lands right in the middle of the pack. They're consistent and affordable, but not always remarkable. One of their bright spots is the Nature's Promise brand. This line includes organic and grass-fed beef sourced from Midwest farms, and when it's available, the quality is a step above your average supermarket cut. The downside? It's not always in stock. Plenty of shoppers head in with a plan, only to find the shelves wiped out or restocking delayed. Outside of Nature's Promise, the meat case mostly features commodity cuts from big suppliers, Reliable, yes, but nothing that makes you excited to cook. Packaging and freshness can also vary by store, which means your experience might be great one week and disappointing the next. Giant isn't a bad option, especially if you're already there for the rest of your groceries. But if you're chasing premium quality or want more certainty in what's waiting for you, it can feel like rolling the dice. Catch the right delivery day, and you'll score some solid cuts. Miss it, and you might need a backup plan. Number 13. BJ's Wholesale Club. BJ's Wholesale Club has a unique spot in the meat game. Like other membership-based warehouses, they sell in bulk, but they also go a step further with customer service. The standout feature? An actual butcher who can break down those massive wholesale packs into smaller, family-friendly portions. That's something Costco and Sam's Club don't always offer, and it makes a big difference if you don't want 10 pounds of steak sitting in your fridge. BJ's stocks all the basics: beef, chicken, pork, seafood, often under their in-house Wayfarm brand. Their free-range chicken, in particular, has a strong following. Flavorful, tender, and reasonably priced, it's one of their quiet success stories. But not everything is perfect. Packaging issues are a recurring complaint, with leaky trays or damp freezer packs popping up more than they should. It's not the end of the world, but it doesn't inspire confidence either. Another thing to note: timing your trip matters. If you shop right before a restock, the shelves can look bare and you'll be left with scraps. Regulars quickly learn the best days to shop. Overall, BJ's delivers solid value, especially if you take advantage of the butcher service and shop at the right time. Number 12. Safeway. Safeway is one of those chains people often forget about until they walk through the doors. Their meat section doesn't scream premium, but it quietly gets the job done, and sometimes better than expected. The basics are always covered: chicken breasts, pork chops, ground beef, steaks, and even the occasional lamb cut. Most of it comes from big national suppliers, so it's reliable, if not exciting. But Safeway has a not-so-secret weapon: their exclusive partnership with Aspen Ridge Beef. Aspen Ridge raises cattle without growth hormones or antibiotics, and the meat is certified humane. It's a noticeable step up from the typical supermarket steak, and the taste reflects the care that goes into it. The challenge? It's not always easy to find, and stock can be limited depending on location. If you don't know what to look for, you might miss the Aspen Ridge cuts entirely, because they're often tucked in alongside the standard options. Safeway doesn't have the flash or variety of some higher-ranked stores, but if you know the insider picks, like Aspen Ridge, you can walk out with surprisingly good meat at a fair price. Number 11. ShopRite. ShopRite is a community staple on the East Coast, and their meat department is a big reason why. Their parent company has made a point of raising animal welfare standards across their stores, and it shows in their offerings. A good example is the bowl and basket chicken line, which is raised without antibiotics or added hormones. A big plus for families who care about what they're putting on the table. Variety is solid too, covering everything from steaks to roasts to seafood. The downside isn't quality, it's the shopping experience. ShopRite stores are often busy, sometimes overwhelmingly so. The butcher counter, while staffed with capable workers, can feel rushed when there's a long line of customers waiting. That means you may not get as much time or personal advice as you'd like. On the plus side, their pre-packaged meat is generally well-sealed and clean, so you won't find yourself dealing with leaky bags. ShopRite is a dependable choice for good quality meat with more ethical sourcing practices than average. If you can handle the crowds, or better yet, shop at off-peak hours, you'll come away with solid products and a clear conscience. Number 10. ALDI. ALDI is the classic budget chain, and at first glance you might assume their meat section would be forgettable. But here's the surprise. ALDI actually punches above its weight. Their meat selection isn't enormous. You won't find a wall of specialty cuts. But what's there is carefully chosen. The Kirkwood chicken line is a standout. Affordable, consistently fresh, and available in family packs or smaller portions. Then there's their grass-fed ground beef, which has developed a bit of a cult following. Flavorful, lean, and priced well below many competitors, it's one of those ALDI finds people stock up on. ALDI also rotates in seasonal specials. Think lamb legs at Easter or marinated pork for summer grilling. The main drawback is selection size. If you're looking for a specific cut, there's no guarantee ALDI will have it. Everything is pre-packaged too, so don't expect a butcher or custom service. Still, ALDI's business model, limited SKUs, high turnover, means freshness is often better than you'd expect from a discount grocer. If you're shopping on a budget but don't want to compromise too much on quality, ALDI is one of the smartest stops you can make. Number 9. COSTCO. COSTCO is a heavyweight in bulk shopping, and their meat department has a reputation to match. Walk past the rotisserie chickens, and you'll find a sprawling section of beef, pork, poultry, and seafood that's hard to ignore. The highlight here is beef. Costco is one of the few big chains that reliably stocks USDA prime cuts, ribeye, strip, brisket, at prices far lower than boutique butcher shops. For families or anyone who loves to grill, that's a huge deal. Their organic chicken is another strong point. No antibiotics, solid flavor, and available in bulk packs that freeze beautifully. Costco also rotates in specialty items like lamb racks or holiday roasts, which regulars look forward to. But there are trade-offs. Everything comes in large packs, so unless you're cooking for a crowd or have freezer space, it can feel overwhelming. There's also no custom cutting. What you see is what you get. Service is efficient, but not personal. Costco is best for planners. Buy big, portion it yourself at home, and you'll save money while eating like royalty. If you want variety, high grades, and sheer value, Costco more than delivers. Number 8. H-E-B. H-E-B is a Texas institution, and their meat department is a big part of why locals are so loyal. Unlike many national chains, H-E-B takes pride in sourcing much of its beef from Texas ranches, giving shoppers a sense of connection to local farms. They carry a wide range of grades, from everyday family cuts to USDA prime steaks that rival high-end grocers. One of their standout programs is the Natural Angus line, cattle raised without hormones or antibiotics, producing tender, flavorful beef at a fair price. Poultry and pork get the same thoughtful treatment, with plenty of antibiotic-free and organic options. Even their in-house marinated meats, fajita strips, seasoned chicken, prepped kebabs, have a strong following among busy families who want convenience without sacrificing flavor. What sets H-E-B apart is service. Many locations have skilled butchers who can answer questions, trim cuts, or prepare orders to your specifications. Combine that with reasonable prices and consistent freshness, and it's no wonder H-E-B ranks this high. If you're lucky enough to live near one, it's a grocery store where the meat counter feels like a centerpiece, not an afterthought. Number 7. Sam's Club. Sam's Club, Walmart's wholesale sibling, often draws comparisons to Costco, and for good reason. The layout is similar, the portions are massive, and the prices are aggressive. But Sam's Club has carved out its own reputation in the meat aisle. Their beef selection is broad and reliable, covering everything from brisket for barbecue to thick-cut steaks for the grill. Like Costco, Sam's sells USDA Choice and, in some locations, even USDA Prime. For families or anyone running a small event, the value is undeniable. You get high-quality cuts at a fraction of steakhouse prices. Poultry and pork are well represented too, often sold under the Member's Mark brand. Bulk packaging means you'll need to reportion and freeze, but the savings add up quickly. Service is limited, though. Don't expect a butcher to cut steaks to order. It's pre-packed only. Sam's Club is also a bit less adventurous than Costco when it comes to specialty meats or seasonal items. But if you want consistency, affordability, and meat that actually impresses once it's on the plate, Sam's Club delivers solidly, especially for grillers and big families. Number 6. Whole Foods. Whole Foods built its reputation on natural and organic foods, and their meat department is no exception. Every product follows strict sourcing standards. No antibiotics, no added hormones, and full traceability. Beef options range from grass-fed to USDA Prime, with many cuts sourced from regional farms that prioritize animal welfare. Poultry and pork are similarly high quality, with air-chilled chicken and heritage breed pork often available. Whole Foods also invests heavily in butchers. Most locations have knowledgeable staff who can recommend cuts, prep custom orders, and even share cooking tips. That expertise adds real value for shoppers who care about more than just price. The downside, of course, is cost. Whole Foods meat is some of the most expensive you'll find at a national chain. And while Amazon's ownership has added occasional discounts, it's still a premium shopping experience. But for those who prioritize ethical sourcing, consistent freshness, and standout flavor, Whole Foods is hard to beat. It's not the place to shop if you're filling a freezer on a budget. But if you're cooking for a special occasion or want peace of mind about where your food came from, Whole Foods earns its spot near the top. Number 5. Wegmans. Wegmans is more than a grocery store. It's practically a food experience. Their meat department is one of the crown jewels. Walk in and you'll see a full-service butcher counter alongside neatly packaged cuts, giving you the best of both worlds. Want a 2-inch ribeye or a custom grind? The butchers can handle it. Quality runs deep, too. Wegmans carries USDA Choice and Prime beef, grass-fed options, organic chicken, and pork raised without antibiotics. They even stock specialty items like dry-aged steaks, lamb racks, and in-house marinated meats that save prep time without cutting corners. Their labeling is clear and transparent, so you know where your food comes from and how it was raised. Prices aren't bargain bin, but they reflect the quality and service you're getting, closer to a boutique butcher shop than a discount grocer. Shoppers also rave about consistency. Whether you buy a steak in New York or Maryland, you can count on the same flavor and tenderness. Wegmans nails the balance between everyday convenience and special occasion quality. For families, foodies, and anyone serious about what's on their plate, Wegmans is a destination, not just a store. Number 4. The Fresh Market. The Fresh Market feels like stepping into an upscale neighborhood shop, and their meat section embodies that vibe. Cuts are beautifully displayed, often with butchers right on hand to guide you. They specialize in premium beef. Think USDA Choice and Prime, plus specialty offerings like tomahawk ribeyes and tender fillets. Their organic and all-natural poultry options are consistently tender, flavorful, and packaged with care. Pork, lamb, and seafood round out the variety, making it easy to plan a full meal from a single stop. One of the fresh market's strengths is curation. Instead of overwhelming you with dozens of versions of the same thing, they carefully select cuts and present them like they matter. The service matches the product. Knowledgeable staff who can recommend marinades, suggest cooking times, or trim a cut exactly how you want it. Prices are higher than mainstream grocers, but the shopping experience justifies it. If you're looking for meat that impresses guests or elevates a family dinner, the Fresh Market consistently delivers. It's the kind of place where you walk out carrying dinner with pride, not just groceries in a bag. Number 3. Publix. Publix is a Southern staple, and its meat department has earned loyalty generation after generation. The real star here is the butcher's service. Many locations still have fully staffed counters where you can request custom cuts, grinding, or trimming, something most national chains have moved away from. That personal touch sets Publix apart. Their selection is strong, too. USDA choice beef, organic and Greenwise branded poultry, hormone-free pork, and even specialty items like lamb or veal in certain stores. The Greenwise line, in particular, highlights Publix's commitment to higher animal welfare and natural products, and customers notice the difference in taste. Packaging is reliable, freshness is consistent, and their marinated meats, like Mojo chicken or seasoned pork tenderloin, make weeknight dinners easy without sacrificing quality. Prices aren't the cheapest, but they're reasonable for the quality and service. Publix shines because it blends trust with convenience. You know the meat will be fresh, you know the staff will help, and you know your dinner will taste like you cared. For millions of Southerners, Publix isn't just a grocery store, it's the go-to place to get meat right. Number 2. Kroger. Kroger is one of the largest grocery chains in the country, but they've managed to balance scale with quality in their meat department. Their private label, Simple Truth, offers organic, grass-fed, and antibiotic-free options that consistently taste great and come at accessible prices. For beef, they regularly stock USDA Choice, and in some locations, USDA Prime. That puts them ahead of many competitors who stick to commodity cuts. Kroger's reach also means wide variety. From basic chicken thighs to brisket for smoking, you'll find what you need. Another strength is consistency. Because Kroger invests heavily in sourcing and logistics, freshness holds up well across their stores. Many locations also keep butcher counters, giving you access to trimming, portioning, or advice on the best cut for your recipe. Prices are competitive, often landing right in the sweet spot between budget and premium. For everyday shopping, Kroger makes it easy to bring home quality meat without blowing the budget. And for special occasions, their higher-end cuts hold their own. They're proof that a massive chain can still treat meat with care. Number 1. Harris Teeter. At the very top, Harris Teeter earns its crown. This Southeast chain may not be as big as Kroger or Walmart, but what it lacks in size, it makes up for in quality and service. Their meat department is consistently praised for freshness, variety, and knowledgeable butchers who treat the counter like a craft. USDA Choice and Prime beef are standard, with Angus cuts that rival boutique butcher shops. Their chicken and pork are carefully sourced, often with antibiotic-free and organic options available. Harris Teeter also invests in presentation. Cuts are neatly trimmed, packaging is secure, and displays are inviting, making the meat section feel premium rather than rushed. But what really sets them apart is customer service. Butchers will cut steaks to your desired thickness, prepare roasts, or give cooking tips on the spot. It feels personal, like shopping at a neighborhood butcher, but inside a modern grocery store. Prices are higher than discount chains, but regulars know they're paying for peace of mind, flavor, and quality. For anyone serious about getting the best meat from a grocery store, Harris Teeter is the clear number one. That wraps up our deep dive into grocery store meat departments, from the ones that barely pass the sniff test to the ones that truly raise the bar. Whether you prioritize humane sourcing, reliable freshness, or just want a solid ribeye without rolling the dice, the right store can make all the difference. We've given you the rundown based on quality, ethics, and the overall shopping experience. But what about your take? Have you had a completely different experience at any of these chains? Do you swear by a butcher we left off the list? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. And if this helped you make better decisions at the store, show some love with a like. Maybe even subscribe if you want more no BS breakdowns like this. Until next time, keep your standards high and your meat medium rare.